All right. Live with week 3 at State of the Kingdom. We are
What's
here.
going on,
Week
people?
what now?
Yeah,
Did
no,
I
what?
say week 3?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, wait, week what now? Hold
Wait,
on.
hold
Is
on.
this a
Wait a
different
minute.
language? I don't know.
Hang on,
Hold a minute.
sir.
I'm just going to go ahead and
Rewind,
call it.
y'all.
Yeah. All right. We're signing off. See y'all later.
Good to see y'all today. Welcome. We'll see y'all next week
Right.
on week 4. We'll see.
All right. Should we try that again? Goodness
Yes.
gracious.
That works. That works. No, keep it
3,
in. Don't delete
2,
anything.
Oh, I'm 100%
1.
deleting this. All right. Welcome to week 7, State of the Kingdom. There. Got it right this time, I think, right? And am I about to find out it's
Welcome.
actually week 8? Is this really going to be how we...
I thought it was week 8.
Oh, man.
It is week 8, but we're going to recap week 7, so
There,
we'll
see, there
salvage
it
it
is.
that way.
Hey, I love it.
There we go.
There we
Because
go.
our record stands at 6-1, so therefore that's how I keep track of it.
And not just 6
And
and
we
1,
have not had a
but
bye week.
yeah, I believe number 1 in the AFC too, isn't it?
Yes.
We are the sole
possession.
in sole possession of the number 1 spot as it stands right now.
Feels good. Not gonna lie, it feels good.
And yeah, that's
Absolutely.
just the... Oh wait, no, the Eagles are also 6 and 1. So, but yeah, no, tied overall first between the AFC and NFC. Love it. Going good. Ra, you said you had a pregame warm up for us.
Yeah.
That we
kind
have
of
not heard, y'all. We have
Yeah,
not
this is
heard.
the-
We have not pondered. He
Well,
kept this card close to his chest.
Well, you probably did hear it. That's why I want to bring it up. Well, you probably did hear it
Oh.
today because it's been kind of going around on the internet.
Uh-oh.
So some girl made it. So we were kind of talking about on our text chain about dating earlier. Just like kind of dating stuff. And then something that's gone viral right now that's been kind of pretty funny. Has been. Have you guys not seen this list? It sounds like you haven't.
No.
Apparently not.
Yeah.
So on Facebook today, some girl made a list. And I'll probably just read it. Read the title. All right. So this list makes it seem like we. Oh, so let me go ahead and read it. Sorry. Let me start from here. So I don't even know who made this list. Some girl on Facebook made the list. It went viral. But it's a list of places that women absolutely refuse to go on a first date. And it says, thank you to the ladies who reached out to me and helped me on my list. So when I say this list went absolutely viral today, like Barstool Sports was talking about it, AM 610 The Drive was talking about it. It's all over Twitter. It's all over Instagram. People were
Damn,
just
I'm
having a
feeling
field day.
behind and FOMO right now.
Yeah, people were just having a field day with this because it's kind of a ridiculous list. It's some of them I get, some of them do make sense, but a lot of these it's like, well, where can you take someone on a first date, right?
Refuse to.
So,
Apparently not the Cheesecake Factory.
oh, you got to pull it up, yeah. So, yeah, let's haunt your lady, right? Like, so let's go through this. Let's go through. Let's go through this list real quick, because I'm curious.
Let's have some fun as we kick it
I'm
off.
curious.
Okay?
Gracious.
Just where you stand on a lot of these. And Billy, you said you hadn't seen it.
I haven't. Yeah, I'm
uh,
going to see if I can go find it now. So
yeah.
go ahead.
So number 1, as Hong already said, Cheesecake Factory.
Well, y'all, I said Cheesecake Factory because of the fact that there's a video on social media that's trending from last week of this homegirl who kept her date waiting an hour. They lost out on their reservations to the really nice restaurant. So his backup plan was he took her to Cheesecake Factory. Homegirl refused to get out of the car and started recording.
Oh, so you didn't see the list?
So I have not seen the list. I was just saying Cheesecake Factory because that video was fresh on my mind. And I would go to Cheesecake Factory for a first date. I'd say yes.
So Cheesecake Factory is number 1 on this list.
Okay.
It was number 1 of places that women absolutely refuse to go on a first date. So Cheesecake Factory is number 1. Applebee's number 2. I'm gonna give you Applebee's.
Ooh.
Like Applebee's.
That's just not good food.
Yeah, no.
Chili's number 3. So yeah, no go on that.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Chipotle number 4. No, not on the first date. Olive Garden
know,
number 5. You
you
say
definitely
you got it
know.
with the
We are
Chipotle?
not in college, okay? Definitely no.
Yeah,
We're not in
these
college.
first five are. I mean, okay, Cheesecake Factory, but the others, yeah, definitely no. I mean, this is good so far. This
Yeah.
is a solid
I
list
wouldn't
so
have
far.
put. I wouldn't have thought Cheesecake Factory was number 1. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Well, I mean, yeah,
Like
over
over,
Applebee's
it's
chilled.
kind of
Yeah,
higher end. It's kind of higher end over Chipotle. Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm not even sure if these are ranked. They might just be
It
listed.
just in the
but,
order. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Number 5, Olive Garden. We said that already. Number 6, the movies, which
For sure. For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
No,
first
not a
date,
first date.
Movies.
for first date, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
like
1000%.
it's not a bad. I think
You know,
third date maybe. Like you already know the person a
maybe
little bit.
unless you're JP from Love is Blind's most recent season where you don't talk, then you could take your date to the first date at the movies, you know? So,
Right.
But I think that's the whole point,
yeah.
though. Is like, yeah, it's if somebody's showing up to the movies and they're talking, I'm mad. And
Sure.
Right.
yeah, if I have a date go to the movies with me and they start talking to me, then we're broken up. But yeah,
Sure.
yeah, this is not, yeah, like Ross said, 3 is maybe like the earliest, and that's if it's like, I mean, something you
Like y'all kind of already
really
know
want to
each
go
other.
see. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, something you want to go see. You kind of already know each other. I did take a girl on a date. It wasn't the first date, but I took her to see the new Space Jam, and that was the last time I talked to her.
They're fantastic. Kate
You
and I's
see? You see?
Kate and I's first movie together was Deadpool. So that was
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
that was good. That was a good one.
That's a good one to go to. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of roll through these because there's 28 on this list, but
Got
number
like the top 20
yeah.
on the stream right now. So
yeah. So number 7, your house. Yeah, first date. That's
no,
sketch.
that's
Ew.
creepy.
I agree with that.
Creeper.
Yeah.
Yep.
Number 8, any fast food chain. Yeah, I give
Yep.
that. Number 9, Buffalo Wild Wings, which had me
Oh
laughing.
my God.
Buffalo Wild Wings and Wingstop were 9 and 10.
For sure. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so and I mean, I'm not a huge fan.
Not eating wings on a first date.
I'm not a huge fan of B-dubs by any means, but I think maybe if the other person's like a huge sports fan and you both cheer for the same team, and that's like your best
Okay,
available
no,
option.
I am not eating
No,
wings on a first date. If you love
That's
sports
fair.
and I love sports like I do, there are so many other places we could go to catch sports.
That's what it. You know what? I think, Han, you hit it on the head.
Yeah,
it's not
you just
even.
it's
It's
the
not
food.
even the fact. Like,
Yeah,
it's wings. You don't want to eat like
Look,
something. You don't want to look
right?
like messy, crazy, like you're on your first date with somebody.
And I love
Like
wings.
I go in
I'm
on
gonna
some
go
wings.
eat them daintily
Exactly.
with a fork and a knife. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Exactly.
like, give me bone-in wings, give me the napkins, let me be a mess, and I'm not about to do that on the first date. Like we gotta save that for like date, I don't know, 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in. No, vice versa. I don't want to look crazy on a first date with some girl I'm in here just chowing down. Like, I mean, I
Right?
do, but like not on no wings. That's a little much.
Yeah.
So much. Okay, all right. So let's knock this out. So Red Lobster, that's a no. Buffet, that's a no. IHOP, that's a no. Denny's, that's a no. Here's
Jim.
the number 15. I've done. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, and I think it depends on the circumstance. I think if you meet someone in that setting, and
But-
they're like, "Hey, let's get a workout in together," it's kind of not a real date, but it's like your first time hanging out with somebody.
So kind of,
me,
it's
I'm
it's
gonna
kind of
say
like the
I've done that, and it's
precursor
worked out.
date. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah. It's not okay. So it's not like an official first date, but it's like a first.
It's the friendship date.
I've met
yeah.
girls for the first time. First time hanging out was a workout. I've done that. Like
That's
we've hung out. We know each other. Been in the fitness and like, hey, let's get a workout in together. So we go work out, and then from there, end up going on dates and stuff like that. That
Right,
I've actually
right.
done.
Yeah,
So
it's kind of
maybe
like the
I'm-
test the waters,
Yeah, maybe
experiment
that's an
versus it
asterisk.
being a date. Yeah.
Yeah.
Church.
So-
I mean, I think there's certain populations church is desirable
say-
and wanting, first date, but not anyone I'd be going out with.
I'm gonna say
Rob-
this.
Wait,
Oh,
did
see,
Rob,
Han's been
did you
quiet
say
for a
you
while.
agree or disagree? No, did you say I couldn't hear you?
For which one?
For church.
So this to me falls into that gym category.
Yeah,
where
I was
have
just about to
gone
say, yeah.
church, I've been invited to church by someone I was attracted to, and then from there, we've set up other plans. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
it's not a date, but it's like the first hangout. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that fits in with like the gym where it's like the precursor date, it's the get to know each other date. Maybe that's where you met each other, so it's the common ground, and then afterwards you go out on a date, kind of thing. I
Yeah. But Hong, it sounds like you
Yeah,
agree with
that's
both.
a
You
no for
disagree with
me.
yeah,
both those.
Hung's
Okay.
like
Okay.
Hung's like I
Yeah.
only go on first dates at church.
Here's the thing. I've never invited a girl to church for that. I've been
But you
invited
have
to.
gone along being invited.
Yes.
Was it a first date though, Raw? Or
It
was it
wasn't
more
a
like,
no.
hey, okay, see, yeah.
But then you later
But
went on
yeah.
to date her or go on dates
Yes.
with her.
Yes. 100%. Yeah,
But it
that's why I
wasn't
say
a date. I think that's like the clarifying piece
Right.
though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, you're right. Like, we're putting these asterisks on the gym and church. Where at the end of the day, they're not dates. We're not talking about dates. Yeah.
Right.
I guess so. Yeah, that's fair. I kind of see like first dates. See, this is why I thought this would be a good warm up discussion. See, because
It is.
you kind of see like a first date is just getting to know someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And those are ways to get to know
Mhm.
somebody. But yeah, I agree with you. They're not technically dates. So I'll give y'all that. I'll give y'all that. That's why it's on the list. I mean,
There
at
you
the end
go.
of the day.
Yeah.
Number 17, Starbucks. Yeah, I agree with that. Here's where I start disagreeing.
I was
Okay.
just, yeah.
Yeah, this is where it gets sketchy to me. Number 18, coffee date. I don't think there's Starbucks. I agree. Don't take somebody to Starbucks for a first
Commercialized.
date.
Yeah.
But like a coffee shop, like a nice little coffee shop to get to know about. That's common. People do that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's not out the
I
norm.
I don't think it's terrible either, but I think there is a widespread agreement among
Okay.
women that your
Okay.
time is worth more than a cup of coffee.
Okay. So
But my thing is that, and I don't know that I agree with that. My thing is like, I don't want to waste time because if you're not vibing with somebody, why sit through an awkward ass dinner
that's
then?
Yeah.
that was going to be my.
Absolutely.
That's what I was thinking because they suck. Like you can escape easier from a coffee date than like a dinner.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm
Right?
Yeah.
saying?
Yes. Yes.
Like absolutely. Yeah. Like I don't. I agree. I hear what you're saying. You like. So how big do you want it to be? Do you want the first date to be big, or do you want it to be like something you can just kind of get to know about somebody, but know where all the exits are? You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. Yeah. See, I see what you're saying exactly, and I think it's going to come down to like so many different scenarios for who the two might be who are going on their first date, how long they've
Sure.
been talking online, offline, all those things. But yeah, coffee dates. I think coffee dates are fine, but not at
So we'll put
Starbucks
that
for
as
sure.
yeah, not at Starbucks. We'll put that as a maybe. Ice cream dates. I personally I don't see a problem with that one either.
Yeah, I'm
Ice
full in
cream.
on that one.
Who doesn't like
Yeah.
ice cream?
Yeah.
Who doesn't like
Sign
Right.
ice
me up.
cream?
I'll go on a first date to any ice cream place.
Yeah.
For
It's not
sure.
like wings. It's not like wings. Like ice
Right.
cream is messy too, but you don't
Yeah,
look
you
as
don't look
bad
as
as if you're
demonic.
eating.
Yeah.
You know. Number 20, family functions. Hard no. Like I agree with
Ooh,
that.
hard no.
Yeah. Movie night. I think that falls into your house, kind of number 7. So it's number 21 is
Yeah.
movie night, Netflix, Hulu, etc. 22, somewhere that requires a long drive, which that sounds serial killery. Like,
Just a tad, right?
Well, I
Just a
think
tad.
yeah.
Come
yeah, I
on,
think the
y'all.
rule has to be you're arriving somewhere separate. You can't go to a first date in someone else's car.
Yeah. That's interesting too.
Well, no,
I
though.
think that
There are
well, I
plenty of
think it
people
depends
who
on
like pick
yeah.
up.
I think it
And I
depends.
don't like that either. I don't. Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
okay.
with Billy on this.
I guess if it's somebody like in Raw, in your cases where it's a gym buddy or you've gone to church with this person or maybe it's someone you've known for a while, then okay, driving somewhere together is fine. But like if it's like hey, I just met you online, we were talking only 3
Hinge
days now,
something.
yeah, it's like that. At that point, you need to have your own way to leave.
Yeah,
Yes,
no, I agree
because
with
we're
that. I
not
agree
getting
with
into
that
a
too.
Jeffrey Dahmer situation.
Right.
No, thank you.
For sure. Um let's see, bowling.
Okay, this one makes me mad. Bowling is my favorite first date activity.
You don't agree?
Far and away. Every first date I went on, if it was bowling, I would consider it a success. I love bowling as a first date. I think it's it's the perfect first date because it's slow. There's no hard time on it, but there's also an ending because there's so many frames you can bowl. So you can either, take it as fast as you want, as slow as you want. There's natural breaks in conversation. So, somebody gets up and goes and bowls. So you have that chance to like reset the conversation whenever it's necessary. Or, the conversation topic is good because the person comes back and keeps talking about it. I mean, who doesn't love some greasy bar food?
Look at him trying to sell
Yeah,
this.
no,
It's like,
I have thought about this one for a while. Like bowling to me is
Yeah.
the ideal first date. And people who don't tell me they hate bowling and don't want to do it as first date, I'm like inclined to not even date them. Not because they don't want to go bowling, but more because like just the negative attitude towards something that's such a relaxed and supposedly enjoyable activity.
It's funny too, and I don't think it's a bad one either. Hong, definitely be curious of your opinion, but I wouldn't say I've gone bowling on a first date, but I have gone to like we have what are these places? Like those little putt places.
Yeah.
Like I think I put that in the same category. Like that's kind of like bowling.
Okay, so
like
here
on the first date.
I've
mini
thought
golf, puttery.
I've thought
Sorry.
about this. I've thought about this, and this is my counter argument to that. And it's simply because, like, at the end of the day, bowling ends. It's like if you throw the two balls down the lane, it doesn't matter if you get it in the gutter, it doesn't matter if you roll a strike, your turn ends at some point in time. Whereas putt, you can be a genuinely incompetent human being and be incapable of sinking a ball in those mini golf courses within 5, 6, 7, 10 strokes. And then if you think you're doing that on 18 holes, this becomes a 4-hour activity of frustration versus bowling where it's like, you can roll, eggs.
There's no second date after, somebody takes 10, 12.
Oh yeah,
14
no,
strokes.
they're out.
I was gonna say, well, yeah, if you're
all I
bad
need to
at
know.
it,
Right.
if you're bad at it, maybe don't pick that.
Right. But you can be bad at bowling and it still be fun, whereas you can be bad at mini golf and it's not fun for anyone, I feel.
Fair enough.
I mean,
And I would
Happy
also
Gilmore, case in point.
kind of in the same vein, like the bowling, the putt, all that stuff. I would also put axe throwing in there. That's the first date thing people do.
No.
I'm not okay.
I do not trust you. Absolutely not. I don't know you. I can't trust you yet. We are not throwing axes. Absolutely not.
Okay.
And if you throw it really well, I have more questions.
Okay. Hong's
See,
out on the axe throw.
and I've been told for the same reasons I shouldn't offer a paintball up as a first date too. So,
Okay, I'm with you on that. No, no. Okay,
it's like,
no.
man, I'd love to go paintballing on a first date.
Take somebody's eye out.
Right? Oh my
All right.
All right.
Nightclub. Yeah, that's definitely not a good one.
Oh.
Hookah
Same
bar,
reason as
no.
movies, yeah.
No.
Hookah bar.
Yeah. I disagree with a bar just for drinks. That's literally what freaking millennials do all the time.
Yeah.
Like we do that. Like we go to like first date on like a dating app like Hinge or something. You go for drinks a lot of time. Hey, let's get a drink. Like that's a good one that you can meet someone, you can learn about them, and you can also, like I said, you can escape. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If it sucks, or if they suck, you can just get drunk.
Right. Well, but and my only counter to this would be like, make sure you understand the person's relationship with alcohol too, though, because like if it's somebody who doesn't, if they say I don't drink much, then like that's the indicator right there to say, okay, not a bar for the first date. Like don't push them on it, don't anything like that.
Yeah.
If they say they don't drink much, then you're doing something else.
Well, yeah. Well, okay,
but yes,
C-Dot on the drive made a good point about like this entire list. Really, what it comes down to when you're planning a first date is like you base it kind of off that person.
Mm-hmm.
Like at least you should. I don't know.
You know enough to be able to make a good choice for the first date spot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're not a
Like,
complete psychopath and can't read the room, can't read the individual. Their profile is all football, and you take them to like a ice skating or something. I don't know.
Exactly. No, exactly. 100%. I agree. 2 more on here. Waffle House. Obviously not.
Ooh.
They said you might as well take them to a UFC fight or a sporting event, which this one is actually, I agree. I don't think a sport event's a good idea for a first date. Hong, you guys can chime in for sure. Um, like there's just a lot that goes into to a freaking game.
Right?
Like, I'm just like parking and like
So
tickets. Like, it just
something like it.
Parking, tailgating. What if you're not fans of the same team? What if you like let's say like me, if somebody took me and I couldn't experience the game the way I would normally experience it, I would not have fun. I don't want to be reserved. I don't want to be not myself, but I also don't want them to see that level of intense fandom from me yet because not everybody gets that either.
And I think
Just
like
TikTok.
you really open yourself up to like and specifically for girls here, like just the harm of mansplaining. Because like you take a girl to
Yes.
a sports event and then the dude just like tries to drop, I don't know, knowledge bombs, challenge you, everything. It's yeah, that's not
That might
fun.
be wrong.
Right. Now, what I will say though, I agree, of the 5 major leagues in the United States, no, don't go to one of those sports events. A minor league game though, I think that could be fun. Some minor league
interesting.
hockey, some minor league baseball, something that's like you don't care because you just paid $15 for your tickets and another
Yeah.
$15 for some drinks and hot dogs or whatever, and you're just chilling watching
Yeah.
people play sport because they obviously are passionate about it versus them getting paid millions of dollars to be there. That could be, I think that could be a lot of fun, but I think you have to both like the sport or
Hmm.
know enough that you don't need the rules explained to you. It's like I'm not going to
Yeah.
take just a random person to go watch hockey and then have to explain hockey to them the whole time, just like I wouldn't want them to do that for me in baseball or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Here,
Right.
so here's the thing. I don't think it's not my choice for like a
Mhm.
first date or whatever, but I know people who have done it. Like
Mhm.
I know like people could take. I would say a football game. Hell no,
Hell
I've
no.
never. No, I ain't taking somebody to a Chiefs game or something like that on a first
I
date.
don't even
No,
want to
I'm
take
Mm-mm.
sorry, no.
myself to a
Mm-mm.
Chiefs game. Yeah.
No, I'm the opposite. I want to, but I want to go wild. But I know people that go on baseball games for first dates or out here. We got the Mavs. People have done that.
Mhm.
I even had an argument, or not an argument, a debate with one of my female friends about this last month, actually, because I'm pulling up the text messages right now. This is before we even talked about this. We were just talking about how I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that or a concert. I said,
No
I would
Concert,
take,
concert.
yeah.
yeah, I would spend money on
No.
like dinner. I said a damn stadium, nah. Concert tickets, no, not for a first date. Like that's,
Yeah.
and
No.
then
You have to be able to
uh,
talk.
yeah,
Yeah.
like so. Those are no for me. And I know this concert's not on this list, but I would just add it myself. But
Mhm.
For sure.
anyway, we've talked that to death. Anyway,
Man, yeah,
I
that's
just
just
figured,
knock that out for 23 minutes and then
yeah,
this
yeah,
football podcast.
Yeah, hang
Right.
around, y'all. We're gonna bring it back. We're gonna bring it back.
Every other sport page brought it up today, so I don't feel like out the norm.
No, I
So
mean,
anyway,
it's a good conversation piece. I love it.
I like it. Thank you.
absolutely, absolutely. So anyway, speaking of first dates, uh, I don't know where I was going to go with
Yeah.
that.
So
I don't even
we're
know.
well past
'Cause
the
I was
first
gonna
date of
say
Travis Kelce and Taylor
Taylor.
Swift. So
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yes,
That's
they. I
exactly
think
what.
was their first date a football game where she came and watched
Probably
him,
not. There's no way.
right.
They've now that
or a
everything's been coming
concert.
out. This has clearly been going on for a lot longer than we knew about.
Right.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
what I think.
y'all. Have you seen the? I don't know if it's accurate or not, but Colin Saunders. Have y'all seen the conspiracy theory that one of her Taylor Swift's backup dancers is Colin Saunders' brother? So
Is it
therefore, this
conspiracy
dating has been
theory?
going on for a lot. I don't know if it's truth or not. It kind of feels a little bit conspiracy theory-ish, but maybe not.
Well, and
Got
and
you. I
there
thought it was confirmed, but yeah.
and
No,
there
I do.
there's
I
the
Oh, it
did
whole
is?
see
thing
that.
about Andy Reid and the Swift family too. Like they know each other. So I know
What?
Andy's. Yeah, yeah. The
Yeah, he said in an
Swifts.
interview.
Yeah, the Swifts are from the Philly area and are huge Philadelphia Eagles fans. So when Reed was a coach there,
Stop
yeah,
it.
it's true. That's like legitimately true. So
Yeah, that one I knew about.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
Reed has
a-
made jokes that he
That's
was the one who
crazy.
set them up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and I thought those are just purely jokes.
No,
I didn't
he
realize
knows
that they
them.
kind
Yeah,
of tied back to. Okay, look at that.
Yeah.
learn something new every day.
So yeah, maybe one
So
day
yeah,
we'll find out. So
yeah. So anyway, last week I talked to y'all about how I told you guys, I told everyone on this podcast, I am so sick and tired of every year people hyping up the Chargers. They were bums last year, they were bums the year before, and they're bums this year. I understand that our
I'm
games
glad
are
that you were right, and
Yeah.
I'm happy to tell you that you can tell me I told you so.
Right. I agree.
yeah, and no, I understand that these last couple seasons they've played us close. I get all that, but
Yes.
I just did not see that this season. Like this year, they didn't even look like they did the last couple years. Like the last couple years, I'm like, okay, I still think we're the best team in this division, but they could win a couple games against us. Like I can see them
Yeah.
winning a couple games. I never thought they were going to win the whole thing. Like, I never thought they were a
Right.
Super Bowl contender. I just thought maybe they could pose a threat in in a few games. But this year they were hyping them up this year like that they've been that same team that they were like the last couple of years. I'm like, guys, they're like way worse this year.
Well,
And I think we saw that.
and something definitely feels off about Justin Herbert after watching that game too. I haven't seen any of the other games
He might
this
be
year,
hurt.
but yeah, I mean, like it seems like he's just playing at a lower level than he has in the past few years, where you could almost make an argument that they could contend with the Chiefs on a bad day. But yeah, after watching that game, it's just like, I mean, nah, I mean, Herbert's lucky he has the players around him he does that are keeping him in these games, because the way he's playing, just not good enough.
I'm sorry.
It's
Not
not
to
like
take
the
back.
Herbert we talked about,
Mhm.
when his rookie year, his second year. Yeah.
Well, because he came in like after what the therapist or whoever it was like punctured Tyrod Taylor's lung, and so he had to like
Yes.
had to come in and play. And I mean,
That's
he
how he
played
got his
lights
start.
out. Yeah, I mean, the way he played against the Chiefs in that first game was just I was scared, and
Exactly.
every game I've seen since then, I've gotten less and less scared.
I'm not gonna come on here and act like I think Herbert's a scrub. I think he's a solid quarterback. I just don't believe in the Chargers organization. I don't believe in their
Yeah.
coach. Like, I really don't believe in their
Mm.
coach. And I don't think Herbert's like the Mahomes killer. Like, I mean, he's big, he's athletic. He can throw the ball and everything, but I just, on the radio, they were calling him just younger Kirk Cousins. And I think that's not a bad
That's not a bad comparison.
comp.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of accurate, man. I really do. And also, not to go back to the dating thing, but I'm looking at Quack Cocaine's comment in the live chat, sir. That would
He's
be
absolutely
acceptable.
correct. No, we
I
don't
don't
need
even know if I'm
to.
reading it on the air. Yeah, I don't even know if I'm reading it on the
Read
air.
it.
Nah, I think we're gonna skip that one. We're gonna skip that one. I'll screenshot it for you.
We'll
There we go.
shoot it over. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so first off, I guess my question for y'all, because I saw it all over Twitter and saw it all over in the Kansas City located individuals I know. For the game itself, did you all have to watch this stupid split screen with the Colts and Browns?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't even
Yes.
watch the split screen. No, like for us.
Oh, you
they
were on
didn't
Sunday
even show
Ticket,
it.
weren't you? Yeah. Okay.
I guess so. I was at a sports bar out here. It's called Sidecar Social. Pretty
Were you on a
awesome
first date?
place. I was not. It was my buddy Mike.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna say no. We've known each other
Bro
for a while.
date, yeah.
So yeah. So anyway, but they didn't show it on split screen. They just showed Colts Browns. We didn't even get to.
You didn't
Yeah,
even
we
get to
didn't
see
even
the
see the
Chiefs.
first-
Okay.
The first 8 minutes of the Chiefs game, we didn't see any of it.
Wow.
By the time they finally showed it, it was already 3-0 Chiefs.
And you know what? In local markets in
Wow.
Indianapolis and Cleveland, absolutely keep showing the Colts Brown game. Even out of market games for the Chiefs
But-
itself, I get it, because the ending of that game was pretty insane. But I
Right.
mean, I'm in
I get
Kansas
it.
City trying to watch the Chiefs play, and I have just the tiniest little thumbnail and then a huge screen of the Colts and Browns, and like luckily we didn't really miss anything for the first little bit of that game, but I've never seen that done before.
Yeah, it
I
was
don't
like
think.
a picture in picture. Right.
Yeah.
It was pretty crazy that they kept that on there.
In a bad game, but yeah, it is kind of like, come on, guys. Like,
let's watch the Chiefs. Yeah, that's why we're here.
That was
We're here to see
yeah.
Taylor Swift in the suite next to Brittany Mahomes. I don't know why you're trying to show me the Colts Browns.
Doing
Somebody
handshakes,
doesn't know what they're doing. They hand, yeah,
which
exactly.
ruined my take. They ruined my take with that handshake.
But
That handshake's been like dissected all these last couple days.
it's
Like who
insane.
came up
This
with
is so
it? Like
funny.
how long it took them to choreograph it? I was like, wow. But yeah. Anyway, um, never mind. I ain't even gonna go into what my take was. But but yeah, no, that was that was irritating that they did that, forcing the like your line
We're
says,
referring
forcing
to the
the
split
nation.
screen, y'all, not the handshake.
Right.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
split screen.
Handshake's fine. Split screen, not.
CBS puts Taylor in her place by forcing the nation to watch Colts Browns instead of her.
I thought that was a good
Yeah,
line. Yeah.
yeah, couldn't said it better myself. That's what we witnessed.
That's what we witnessed. We also got to see quite a bit of the super fan, the new super fan for the Chargers at least, in that game
Yeah,
too. I don't know.
and
Yep.
another reason the Chargers
Some of
are
that.
taking L's. Okay, they
And
got the
y'all
super fan.
confirming that she is a fellow Vietnamese sister.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Hopefully she and I'll be able to link up and chat sometime in the near future. But as you can imagine, her weekend was extremely inundated. So,
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm
and
curious.
I'm
I'm sure
a
that'll be a
low
fun
woman on the
conversation.
totem pole.
Was there
Yeah.
was there any confirmation? Like, did she get paid to go there? Like, not paid to go there, but was she gifted? Like the seats and all that, or was the plan
I'm
already in
sure she
fruition?
was.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
I assume that B-Dubs was her sponsor for that. I was like, she had that B-Dubs hat on. I'm pretty sure they gave her the tickets.
Hey, you know, got to do
So,
how it better. You got to do it. So
so if there's any benefit of going on a first date at Buffalo Wild Wings, you might get tickets to a Chiefs
there
game.
you go.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I mean,
right.
fun game all around.
Game
I'm not
itself,
too
yeah.
upset. Billy, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm ecstatic because I have Travis Kelce in both my fantasy leagues, and that was just that was an easy win, left, right, and
He
center
went
for me.
off.
He went off. Yeah. No, big time effort. This is one of those games that, like, the second half was awful. I think just on all fronts. Of if you were a neutral for football and just trying to watch, whatever game of the week it is here, the 3 p.m. game that's going to be on for everyone. Because the second half was boring as all get out when it came to offensive power, especially after that first half we had. Knowing that we had such an explosive first
so
half.
it wasn't just me.
No, it wasn't. Yeah. And I mean, the scores and stats prove it. But, like, do you guys think that the Chiefs let off the gas intentionally for the second half? Or why did we slow down so much after scoring 21 points in the second quarter?
This is a good question. Our offense has been just kind of like this all year, right? Like we're just still figuring ourselves out.
We're still playing to opponents. We're not necessarily playing to level of Chiefs. Oh my god.
Right.
I mean, it's a good question. I don't really know if I have an answer. That's when the Long Island iced tea started to kick in. So,
So, unlike a lot of other quarters of football, too, and I'm looking at the stats from this game, the third quarter, there were 3 possessions in total. Chiefs had 2 of them, one that ended on a fumble, and then the Chargers had another one that ended up with that interception. But each of those 3 drives took about 5 minutes, and then none of them resulted in points, which is kind of crazy. We're looking at 10 plays for one, 11 plays, and then 10 plays. That's got to be the most time of possession, most plays executed for a drive in a quarter I've ever seen that did not result in any form of points. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. How do we feel about our receivers this week? Do we feel better?
All except for the one, that was in the news this week, but other than him,
he wasn't on the field anyway.
He wasn't on the field anyway. Yeah, No, I think overall, our receivers definitely. It's kind of hard to say that, like, they came into their own, because what it was is Travis Kelce played, and then we also have a few other guys on the field who can catch the ball. I mean, Rasheed
But-
Rice, had 5 catches, not
Y'all,
bad.
he is really stepping into a more definitive role. You know what I mean? On the
Right.
team as a receiver, Rashee Rice.
Rasheed Rice, yeah.
Yeah, you kind of saw like hints and glimmers of it the last few weeks, but like it's really exciting to see it come together, especially in a game where we played such an exciting first half of offense.
Mm-hmm.
Between Travis Kelce, as you guys were just talking about, and then for him to come in and make some big catches as well is really nice to see that, because we've just had this discussion like in the 2 episodes prior of like there really isn't anyone outside of Travis Kelce being receiver number 1. Nobody is stepping into that number 2 role. So
Well, and then a guy,
that
yeah.
part is exciting to see that formation.
I'm ready to give it to Rice, man.
Well,
think he's that,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
well, I was just saying, I think he's that number 2 pass catcher, but definitely our number 1 receiver, at least productivity wise.
See, I you hear that, but MVS had a pretty good game too. I would feel, he only
did.
he only
Yeah.
had 3 catches, but he put up 84 yards, and I say only 3 catches. He was only targeted 5 times, so
Yeah.
caught 3
Yeah.
of 5, and I don't think any of them were counted as a drop. So it's still a pretty good catch rate.
Finally, man, like we've been waiting for this.
Yeah.
Because he's probably supposed to be our number 1. I know they said at the beginning of the season, Kadarius Toney was supposed to be our number 1, but I mean that doesn't even look nowhere
That is
near
dwindling by the by the week.
by the week. Yeah,
Right.
for sure. That's
Yes.
not happening.
Sorry,
Big
KT.
shame.
Sorry.
So
No, it's I think the way I feel about our catching game, I feel quite the opposite about our rushing in that last game, because our run game was back to levels that we like to complain about. I would say,
Yeah.
it was pretty frustrating.
over under.
Well,
Like, what are the chances? I don't even know what to say over under. What are the chances we trade CEH at the trade deadline?
I don't think anyone wants them.
ooh.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't think we're
that's the
getting
issue.
anything.
Yeah, I'm sure there's no issue with shopping them, but I mean, who's going to take them?
I don't know, man. There's
Maybe
some
the
buzz-
Browns,
buzz
considering
teams,
Ford's
yeah.
injury, but even then,
Damn, did Ford get hurt too?
yeah, Ford got hurt. I think he's going on IR for about 4 weeks.
Are you kidding me? I watched that game. I didn't see that part. I mean, obviously, I watched that game. We were forced to.
Everyone was supposed to.
I must have not been paying attention right then.
And I do feel bad
No,
for
you're on the
Pacheco.
first date.
Right, he's on his bro date. I do feel bad for Pacheco because he did rip that 35 yard run that ended up getting called
Yes.
back. That would have pretty much doubled his yardage. Should have been
Yep.
great. But the weird thing about this round of rushing for me compared to other times is like other times it feels like the attempts aren't there. The attempts were certainly there. Pacheco got the ball 13 times.
The attempts were there, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's different. You're right.
He got it 13 times and 32 yards. It's not what you expect from, that amount of attempts. Yeah. So hopefully it's a case where it's just like it's isolated. I mean, I know the Chargers defensive line is pretty good. Even when Bosa's playing hurt, he still plays better than 75% of the NFL. And then you get, Derwin James in there, who's still probably one of the better safeties out there. And those guys are always important to stopping big, rushing plays. And their linebackers obviously held their own too. So.
And wasn't Derwin who body slammed Travis Kelce when we played him last year?
I was Derwin, yeah.
Oh, Derwin James, yeah.
It was Derwin James, yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was him. Okay, but yeah, so no, there's no lack of talent on their defense by any means, of course. So
Yeah, Mahomes' 23-yard scramble was the longest run. Yep. So it's like once again, that seems to happen quite a few times.
It's
like
yeah.
he's our best runner.
And usually it's because nobody who's receiving can get open. So yeah.
Right.
He can rip off some runs though. Kate and I still laugh every single time we watch him run because we just think what it looks like.
Running.
Yeah, what it looks like is he has a quarter stuck between his butt cheeks that he's trying to hold there while he's running. It just cracks me up.
Yeah, like he's rushing to the restroom.
All right.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Man.
Y'all are terrible.
Have you seen it?
I know I've seen it, but yeah, it's just the imagery of a quarter in between your butt cheeks, you know?
That's Mahomes.
Some
This is how he
good
looks.
imagery.
This is
That's
the
Mahomes.
play.
That's your quarterback
That's your
of the
quarterback.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh man.
But okay, my thing, you're mentioning how we were a little bit flat
Mhm.
offensively in the second half there. Like if we were so electric and everything in the first half, we didn't really utilize the run game very much. So would it hurt our game plan to just switch to, hey, first half pass plays, second half, run plays, keep it on through the air, keep it through the air for the first half. Let's keep it on the ground for the second half. Like, is that so bad of a play?
I would,
Of a game plan? Is that so terrible?
Hey, if
I
it
would
works,
tell
it
Like,
you, no
works.
one would see that coming.
Right.
No one would see that
I
coming. That's for sure. Because we don't run it.
yeah, we have
Um,
to run it. Coach, we have to run it. We were able to win that game, but generally we have to run it quite a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
hey, as long as we can still catch, as long as we still got that number 87 that can catch the ball, we ain't got to worry about that too
Yes.
much just yet.
Just yet.
Just yet.
Yet.
And Pacheco has had some
mean-
good runs this year, so
Yeah.
we just kind of.
No, this was not
give
something
it up
where
to the Chargers.
this is not something where I would blame Pacheco for what was happening. This is more of
No.
like either the scheme itself wasn't working or the offensive line was failing him or whatever the case may be. Because Pacheco doesn't get 13 attempts and only put out 32 yards unless something else is going on.
Right. Yep. Give it to the Chargers. They were able to at least control that part of the game.
Absolutely.
I wanted to bring up, going back to Kelsey, there was that disrespectful stat about what was it?
I can't believe they aired that. And what was the exact
Correct me up.
wording that they used?
So it was,
was,
with Swift in attendance, he is averaging 99 yards a game, and without while he's playing, it was something like 37. And that was just.
But they used a certain terminology that I felt was like too.
Well, it's
hold on, it's in our.
It's the classic LeBron stat, right? Like it's just you find the funniest, narrowest perimeter you possibly can in order to make something fit your narrative. And I mean,
100%.
That's what it was right there. Here it is. All right.
Yes.
You belong with TE.
With Taylor Swift. Yes, you belong with TE this season. With Taylor Swift in attendance, receiving yards per game, 99. Left to his own devices, 46.5. Left to his own devices.
Oh my God.
Was their terminology
Right.
used. Oh my word.
Yeah, because I'm sure he was out there on the field like, you know what, shit, Swift's not here. I can't break 46 yards. I gotta stop.
Right?
I gotta.
All that being said, though, he finished with 12 receptions, 179 yards.
He
second
balled.
best total of his career.
That's
It fits the
insane.
narrative.
Yeah.
It
That was a good.
script.
His career.
It follows the script.
Yeah. So, Michael Parsons had me laughing on his podcast. He's like, "Hey man, there's some truth. You know, Kelsey's a dog, but sometimes when you got a baddie in the stands, you put on a little something extra. So there might have been some of that going. Yeah, Michael Parsons said, he said, if I got a baddie in the stands, I'm playing basketball against Kawhi Leonard. I'm putting 30 on Kawhi Leonard.
Right. You're putting in a little more effort.
First date vibes.
I mean, we know Kelsey's one of the goats, like goat tight end, but there could be something to that second
little
best
extra. Yeah.
total of his career. There was probably some extra
sure.
juice.
No hate, right? Exactly.
Even Andy Reid said she can stay.
She can stay.
She can stay. Playing like this.
Stay.
Yeah.
We'll keep
Amazing.
her.
And then Mahomes, 400 another 400-yard passing game, 10th of his career. So even if we couldn't get it done on the ground, we were definitely getting it done in the air.
And that's the thing. These are the numbers that Chiefs Kingdom likes to see for Patrick Mahomes. Over 400, right? That those are the numbers that we like to see. Yeah. We're like 330, 370.
It'll be nice to be able to put it all together. Like the offense is still just not. It's like we got glimpses of what a complete Chiefs team looks like, because special teams is balling, and I know we got to get into that. We'll get into defense, we'll get into special teams, but yeah, it's just like once we can get the offense just clicking again, firing on all cylinders, this team, man, I mean, this I was on the fence about it toward the beginning of the season, but just looking at the rest of the league and how things are starting to come together for us and starting to fall apart for everybody else, we might. I mean, we're looking at a potential third title run, for sure. So
Yeah.
I was less sure maybe 2 weeks ago than I am this week.
If
So
if the
after watching
improvements
that.
we've made since week 1 continue while everyone else's decline continues, I fully agree with you. Like if these things keep on track, no, you're absolutely correct. It's pretty much in the bag, but let's hope it stays that way.
Absolutely.
All right.
But
Let's talk
yeah,
about
do we want to move defense, special
defense. Yeah,
teams?
defense
Let's talk
wins
about
championships.
defense.
We got to talk about the really important guys here. I mean,
Defense, man.
yeah. I think everybody knows that, it's like you can have as good of an offense as you want, and there's always a chance that it wins you the Super Bowl. But at the end of the day, if you don't have a defense, you won't. And this is the best defense we've seen all year. Or sorry, all Mahomes' career is what I meant to say. Of course, it's the best defense we've seen all year. It's the only defense we've seen all year. And, yeah, it's I don't I just continue to be impressed. I know first half, especially that second quarter when they put up 2 touchdowns, it felt like we were starting to slip back into the whole bend don't break, kind of thing that we've had since we've won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And been to 3, and I was a little bit nervous about that. And then we go 2 quarters shut out with the second half of that game. They don't even get a chance to put points on the board, and just like, okay, all right, we're back.
Absolutely.
I think the big one for me was these passes defensed. I think that's an underrated stat, really, and for good reason, because you have to really do a thing in order to count as a pass defense stat. We had 7 of them. Snead pulling it out, Willie Gay, Brian Cook, Justin Reed, all these guys just like showed up at some point in time and did something to alter the course of the ball being passed. And especially when it's a player like Justin Herbert that people talk up, if you're able to get 7 passes defensed against them, that's a sign of good things.
Absolutely. Held him to 259 passing yards for this game. Which, yeah, I mean, we still think he's a talented quarterback, so I'm not saying he's not. This was definitely a good show by our guys.
Right.
And welcome to Chiefs Kingdom, Charles Menhue.
Oh man,
he
was something.
Good,
and
God.
Yeah, he really was. That was a whole lot of fun to have him back in the lineup.
Absolutely. I mean, this is his first time. Like, he didn't even play for us. Yeah, this is his first game.
That's true, right?
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, he's been suspended all season. Dang it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a beast. 5 sacks for this game. Not for Menhue, for the team.
He
so.
put up 5 sacks.
Yeah, I was like, dang, just for him, I missed the other.
Right.
No, that would be great. He did get a sack and an interception.
Mm-hmm.
He got a sack and an interception. Thanks to L'Jarius Sneed kind of helped deflecting that pass.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But George Karlaftis recorded a sack. Willie Gay, Mike Dana, Drew Tranquil. Everybody except Chris Jones, it seemed like, which is
you get a
rare
sack,
for Chris
you get
Jones.
a sack.
But,
this snaps his streak.
Yeah,
this snaps his streak.
Yeah, it does snap his streak. It does snap his streak. So that was unfortunate, but he'll be back.
Right.
And he was still helping out. He still was getting pressures.
Yeah, and that's what people I think fail to remember about Chris Jones too, is that I'm looking at his stats right now. He had 0 tackles, 0 solo tackles, of course, 0 sacks, 0 tackles for loss, 0 passive defense, 0. But what you're not taking into account when people just see that stat and think he's been bad is, well, okay, we had 5 sacks because he's getting double teamed, so somebody's free. We had what is this? 5 tackles for loss because he's getting double teamed, so somebody else is able to get in the backfield and make this happen. We had 8 quarterback hits. I think that's ridiculous when you combine that with our sacks, and that's because somebody like Chris Jones is in there and taking all the pressure onto himself, allowing for some of these other guys to come in and step up huge.
Absolutely.
Now
Yeah.
the
No, our defense continues to be elite right now.
there is the unfortunate news though that did come out about Nick Bolton. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know about you guys, but at first he was down. All right, he got up. He managed to get to the sideline and couldn't even make it to the sideline before collapsing down again. It was just like, oh,
Yeah.
what's happening? So, news is official. He has what a dislocated wrist is what it was. I
Yeah.
mean, shoot,
Yeah.
he's going to have to undergo surgery. The one, I think we said this in the text chat, but the one nice thing about a defensive player versus something like an offensive player is they can come out with those clubbed hands. So we at least know that he may be able to hit the field sooner than if it was somebody like a receiver or running back or even an offensive lineman. Hopefully, who knows? And he should take his time coming back. No need to rush it. This is now the time for, like Drew Tranquil and Chanel and gosh, who else is over there in our. Those are the guys, aren't they? Tranquil and Chanel will be the ones that have to step up and play that linebacker position,
Yeah.
along with Willie Gay.
Yeah. Drew Tranquil, has been, which really hasn't missed a beat. Like, even, obviously I want Nick Bolton back, but if your backup's Drew Tranquil, the way he's been playing, we're doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Be just
Absolutely.
fine,
So,
hopefully. Yeah. And of course, Willie Gay, I mean, he'll be able to step up and play phenomenally too. Him and Bolton together are a wombo combo, and now the spotlight will be a little more on Gay, I feel. But yeah, once he has people like Tranquil there to help him out,
absolutely.
good
Yeah.
stuff.
But, loved it. Love what they're doing. Like I said, we get the other side of the ball playing more consistently like this. I mean, there's nobody stopping us on both sides, in the AFC or in the NFC. Like, yeah.
And then start mixing in a certain Mecole Hardman back there returning punts.
Welcome back, Mecole.
Welcome back.
He didn't.
Man, it was good to see.
He didn't get involved in the passing game at all, right? He did get
Did not.
targeted 3 times, got 1 catch for 6 yards. But I mean, first game back, you barely been in the facility for 48 hours at that point in time, so that's excusable, I feel. Yeah, and then to rip off a 50-yard punt return, like shoot, that was
vintage,
a beautiful thing to watch. Especially,
vintage
I mean,
Mecole.
yeah, I know you're probably going to yell at me for bringing this up, but pulling that off on the day that Dante Hall's numbers put up there in the Ring of Honor.
Why would I yell at you for that?
Oh, maybe you weren't the one who tweeted about it then. I thought I saw someone else. There's somebody else who's just like, you can't compare Mecole Hardman to Dante Hall and all this stuff. It's like, well, yes,
Okay.
you're right.
Okay.
But also he ripped off a 50-yard punt return on the day,
God.
Hall's name's being put up in the ring. So, yeah.
No one watched that and said Mecole needs to be in the Ring of Honor. Like, that's not the conversation.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Yeah. No, it's
Oh my
a
God.
great return. Like if Dante Hall had a 50-yard punt return, I was ecstatic. Yeah, okay, he returned a lot for touchdowns. He returned a lot for longer, but I think people also forget the number of times he had to call fair catch too. So yeah, let's just remember, a 50-yard punt return is something to celebrate, and always good homage to the X Factor himself.
It's fun. Like, what is wrong with Chiefs Twitter sometimes?
God, dude, I'm saying.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, it was good to see him back. I will say too, just kind of watching his interviews and stuff. Really, really love just kind of his. I guess like the first time around, there was that stigma that he was there to replace Tyreek, and he hasn't quite lived up to that. Like,
Right.
And then of course the other receivers like Scary Terry or Terry McLaurin and DK Metcalf taking in the same draft doing, better than him. Like, this is called what it is. They're having better careers. But I think what's great about this time around is he's kind of not living under those expectations anymore. And I think this is going to be kind of a different look for him. Even though it was a year ago, this is going to be there's a different aura around him this time around. There's different expectations, and I think he's going to benefit from it. Like he's coming to play a specific role, definitely on the special teams. But you know he'll find his spot in the offense as well. But he's no longer having to live up the expectations of being the new Tyreek Hill.
He's
You know,
Yeah.
coming in to be the savior. You know, he's coming in to
right?
fill the gap for things that don't exist right now. You know, and so like you said, the pressure that's on him is completely different. It's more of, oh, thank God you're here versus what the hell are you doing here, kind of thing. And I think you're absolutely correct that that's going to make a
Yeah,
huge difference. He's going to be able to play a little more loose, a little more happy, hopefully,
yeah,
and um, show us what that speed do, because he is pretty quick.
yeah. But he gives me just kind of off the field a lot of Charkandrick West vibes, where he's just a guy that everyone just enjoys being around. Like he just seems like a good dude too.
Mm-hmm.
So you definitely love having those people in your locker room. So yeah, yeah. Welcome back, Nicole.
Welcome back. Welcome back. All right, that's really. I mean, I know we talked for a while about whatever, but I can't think of anything else when it comes to this game. Like this was just a routine win over a team that we are better than, and hopefully what we continue to see more of versus our traditional play down to the opponents.
It was
Mm-hmm.
satisfying because we looked the most complete that we've have all year.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully they just build on that, keep going. I know we got the Broncos next, so it's gonna feel like another trap game scenario, but you know,
Uh-huh.
hopefully we can keep the same level of play up and go into this kind of next. I won't call it a gauntlet, but after the Broncos, we've definitely got some tough ones, some
Yeah, we
tougher
do.
opponents coming up. So for
Do we
sure,
have
Yeah.
the bye week right after the Broncos, and then that's when we hit things, or
No,
do
we
we have
have
the
the
Eagles before?
Dolphins
Okay,
overseas, and then we have our bye week,
okay,
and then we
yeah.
come back to Monday Night Football with
straight
the
into the
Eagles.
Eagles.
Which if you're gonna play overseas, it sounds like the way these teams are coming back from playing overseas, it sounds like having that bye week right after your overseas trip is
Is
nice. It will
necessary.
be a nice,
Yeah,
yeah. So
NFL
definitely
needs
good
to
to have
start
that
taking that into consideration, I think.
for sure.
All right,
But yeah,
rest of the league. Eagles Miami, I think, was probably game of the week for a lot of people coming into week 7.
I mean, it
And
definitely was. There were two games I was keyed in. There's three overall, which I was completely wrong about. Can I
mm,
just say real quick, just what I love about the NFL? The parody, man. It's just real, man.
yeah,
Like out of any other league, professional league, this one is just it really any given Sunday holds true.
it's balanced.
Because I could
Yeah.
have told
Yeah.
you that the only three games I was interested in was Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, sorry, not Broncos, Lions, Ravens, and Eagles, Dolphins. And
Mm-hmm.
two of those games did not go the way I expected at all.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah, so
absolutely. So you were
yeah,
thinking
where do we
that the
want to start?
Dolphins would pull out a W against the Eagles?
I just thought it would be closer.
Closer.
I mean, it definitely,
Yes. Yes,
it
I
definitely
thought he'd be
started
closer
off.
as well.
Yeah, it definitely started off pretty close, but I mean, the Eagles clearly the more dominant team.
Yes, I thought he'd be closer as well.
Yeah, and then the Dolphins still haven't beat a winning team yet, so it is I still think they're a good team. I really do. They have a great
Mm-hmm.
offense, great coach. But I am wondering if I don't know if we can still consider them a Super Bowl contender right now, because
So, y-
they've only beaten teams with losing records, and the
mhm.
teams with winning records have I mean the Bills smoked them, but we'll get into the Bills in a little bit. And then the Dolphins, they look good. They looked I mean their Eagles look like obviously the best team in the NFC. Um, finally, so they're starting to figure things out too. But they definitely looked like the better team. Like, and it wasn't particularly close.
No, it wasn't close at all. And you know what, like really locked it in for me, the realization that, hey, these guys are not going to be Super Bowl contenders at all, is 4th and 10 ended the game, and these guys just need to put something up and out there. And what did they run? But what a quick 3-out hook from Tyreek Hill. And I'm just sitting here like, what are you doing, Mike McDaniel? Like, this dude is supposed to be the guy who's like all about stats, all about the analytics, knows, just has the raw, numbers knowledge, right? There's no way he's sitting over
Mhm.
there thinking that this is a good idea. But this is the play that they end up running on 4th and 10 when the game's on the line. I'm not scared of him anymore. I'm good, It's
Yeah,
like, see ya. It's just,
yeah. Now,
man.
something to consider. No, something to consider is a lot of their offensive line is out with
Yeah.
injuries, and so are both their top two secondary players, right? Um,
Right.
Jalen Ramsey's still out, and then Xavier Rhodes, isn't that their other guy?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that is something to consider. So, we'll see if they look a little bit different once they can start getting healthy again. But yeah, right now, I know originally I was pretty high on them to make the Super Bowl. I no longer feel that way.
Yeah. They're going to be that team that always shows up offensively, but then does something to shoot themselves in the foot. I feel like that's just kind of how they
Yeah.
feel right now. Um, where like the way I think about like the 49ers and our second bullet here is like they're a team that can win this Super Bowl having a mediocre quarterback because he's surrounded by such talent, while the Dolphins are kind of just like missing that extra couple of pieces of talent they really need. And maybe to your point, it's the injuries that are the problem. They get half their offensive line back once those guys are recovered, and they get their, players like Jalen Ramsey and Rhodes back. Maybe that's really the missing piece because Tua can certainly sling it, but he just doesn't seem like the kind of quarterback who can make the quick decisions on the level of somebody like a Tom Brady, a Patrick Mahomes, even a Peyton Manning, like the guys who win despite what's happening around him. He's a guy who needs things to go perfectly in order to win. And so hopefully,
Right.
that continues to change, but right now, yeah, it just seems like that you can't tell me that somebody like Tom Brady is going to be sitting there on 4th and 10 and does the check down pass, and the
No.
the fact that Tua is willing to do that is just you're not going to win.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Can
But
we?
yeah. Uh,
Last thing on the Eagles Miami game, can we all agree that the continual call for banning the tush push should just go away? Like, are
oh
either
yeah.
of you on the side that it should be banned or
No. Yeah. No. I don't even. I don't know if we've ever have we even discussed
don't?
this. I don't
I
know if
don't
I've
think
ever
so.
given my
Yeah,
opinion on this.
we haven't.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, can't nobody else do it? Like we can't punish
Yeah.
them just
Unless
because.
exactly.
Yeah.
Unless you're Jason Kelsey and Jalen Hurts, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
It's not an unfair advantage play. There's just only certain guys that can do it, and if
Right.
you can't stop those guys, that's on you.
Yeah.
Like
No, and I
I'm
think
in full agreement with Sirianni. Like, hey, if you can't stop it, I forgot what his quote was. He's just like, um, if you can't stop it, that's your fault. That's your
yeah,
loss.
don't ban
But
it because you can't stop it. No, it's. I mean, I
right,
think a lot of people forget that like Jalen Hurts can squat as much as any
six
lineman
hundred
out there.
pounds.
It's disgusting, and then of course you get the physical freak that is Jason Kelsey. Like Kelsey's gone after this year in theory. It'll be really interesting to see if the tush push can continue once Jason's gone, and then on top of that, once Hurts is out of the league, yeah, it's no, they're going to go back to not doing it because they're doing it because they have the tools to do it, not because it's a cheat. It just so happens that
Yeah,
it's a very successful play.
yeah. Because did the Vikings try to do it last night? Or I feel like I
I feel
saw
like
one of
they
those teams.
did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like,
but we've seen
yeah,
other teams try and fail,
right.
including the Kansas City Chiefs,
And
which
we even tried it without our quarterback, with just a tight end doing it, and still couldn't get
which
the
might
ball.
have been the issue. That might
That
have
might
been
have
the
been the issue.
problem. But point is for as of right now, can't nobody else do it.
Yeah, and it's not right to ban it. Yeah, you know how you stop the tush push is you don't let them get to 3-1 or 4-1. You hold them to 3-3 or 3-4 even because you can't tush push that. That's how you do it. Just hold them
Right,
a little bit short. You don't
right.
even. Yeah, I mean, there. I solved it. Defense, go figure it out. Got the answer
Yeah.
for you.
We get a little bit better about reading the comments throughout the show, but shout out
No,
to
the
Captain
Kevin
Berea
Bear.
for chiming in too. Thanks for listening. But yeah, let's talk about our boy primetime Kirk Cousins. Oh
You know,
wait, last thing on the
did you
Eagles
like
on the
that?
Eagles
Yeah.
Dolphins. Wait, last thing on the Eagles Dolphins. Man, those Kelly green jerseys were freaking sexy.
I love those. I
Oh
hope
my
they keep
God, those
wearing
things
them.
were
I want to
fire.
see more of them.
I
Those
like
were
those too.
fire, man.
They pull it off well. Yes.
Yeah,
And hey,
yeah, those are dope.
something else I wrote down that I just almost forgot about totally. Rare 0 penalty game for the Eagles too. You know,
Oh yeah,
not
okay.
a
Oh yeah.
single penalty. There's a lot of controversy surrounding that, but
Yeah, yeah,
at the end of the day, they didn't have a
yeah,
yellow flag thrown on them, and good for them because that's impressive,
yeah. Especially in this league right now.
especially in this league right now.
Yeah, but yeah, primetime Kirk, he did it. I had a feeling they were gonna get like I don't know, just kind of the way the game started.
Yeah,
They started fast, and they were scrappy. Like they weren't afraid to take a risk. And your boy or my boy Jordan Addison came out balling.
he can ball, and
He
yeah,
sure did.
Yeah, and I don't even think the Niners played a bad game, to be honest. It's just the Vikings. What, they've lost 4 games this season by 1 scores.
yeah, but yeah,
So
they're just that team that can't finish. You know,
yeah,
they're a good team that just can't finish, and they were able to finish this one, luckily.
yeah, yeah. They are a good team. Like their record doesn't dictate their skill level because they're not like
Mhm.
the Broncos. They're not like the Raiders. Like they're not one of those type of teams. But yeah, they just haven't really been able to put it all together just yet. And so last night was one of not the first time because they've won some games. What are they, 3-4 now?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, so they have a chance, man. They have a chance to make a run. They I mean it sucks that they still are without Jefferson for a while, but um
Hopefully he comes back like just as they really need him to in order to finish out the
yeah,
season and shows up huge. That'd be pretty cool to see
yeah,
because
they can yeah, they can put it together.
they can.
Um and then and then shout out to CMC, 17 straight games with a touchdown.
I
Crazy.
Okay, this
Crazy.
person, I was talking about Jason Kelsey being a freak in nature. CMC is out there doing this with a torn
He's
He's a literal
oblique.
freak.
Are you kidding me?
right.
Literal
If I
freak.
stub my toe, I have to sit down, and he's over there like freaking running these plays with a torn oblique. Because I'm thinking I'm over here before the game, just like he's hurt. He's what, doubtful to questionable as we're getting up to the game. He has a torn oblique. We all know this. And I'm like, you're playing the Vikings. Like, even if you lose, why are you playing CMC at all? Let him rest. You know,
A different breed.
it just
A different
yeah,
breed.
man. But I think their need for CMC to play in this game, whatever need there genuinely was or not for him to be in this game, their perceived need for him to be there goes to show how much they feel like they cannot rely on Brock Purdy to win. And that's
I don't think should.
I I don't think there's much argument against that. It's pretty obviously, like I was saying earlier, he's a quarterback who's going to win the Super Bowl, just like Joe Falco won the Super Bowl. It is because he was surrounded
Exactly.
by so much talent, and doesn't matter who you are, you're going to win. It's just
Trent Dilfer before him.
yeah,
Yeah, that's his role.
it's his role is to show up and not make a mistake. I think their big mistake was letting CMC even play in this game because what if he aggravates that more and then he ends up in a season-ending injury situation? That's frankly the 49ers season done. I don't care who they are.
Yeah.
Right. They lose out. They lose out by not
Mhm.
taking care of the here and
Yeah, and then Fred Warner got hurt last night too.
Yeah.
On their defense.
then.
Debo's out.
Yep.
Yeah, so they were taking some risks there for sure.
And
I don't know if
it just feels like
I was
it's
just I don't know if sorry, I was just gonna say I don't know if Fred finished the game. I was just trying to check that. But no, go ahead.
no, it feels like you take those kind of risks when it's towards the end of the season and you're fighting not just for postseason but for seeding and all that kind of stuff. I understand taking risks then, but we're in week 7 of the NFL. You're kind of at the 2/3 mark at this point in time. If you're what they only had one loss going into this week, so they're down 2 games now. That's fine. Plenty of teams win the Super Bowl having 2 losses on the regular season. It's just I think they're trying to push themselves just a little bit too much, maybe, and I think that's what's going to end up being their downfall and letting somebody like the Eagles, the Lions, whomever from the NFC waltz in there over them after they've spent 7 weeks now being pretty much the number one team on the power rankings.
Absolutely.
And did you see if he finished the game? Did you see that? Catch that?
They're not saying anything about an injury on these little. I'm just gonna look at the headlines,
Sure.
but they are saying that he figured out how to stop the tush push. Which again, no. So I was right. The Vikings did try it. I forgot. The Vikings did try it. Fred Warner went airborne to stop it.
He Troy Polamalu'd it. Yeah. That's right.
But Jason Kelsey and Jalen Hurts weren't on the field, so
right.
You didn't cure. The tush push. These fools just couldn't do it. Yeah, but
can you imagine being that excited at stopping someone like Kirk Cousins from a couple yard rush? That's just,
when you say it like that, it's like, yeah.
Let the man have his moment. Let the man have his moment there.
Oh, man.
It ain't even him. It's the headlines. Like, there's like 4 headlines. Fred Warner finds the cure to the tush push. Fred Warner stopped the Vikings tush push with a clever play. Fred Warner just showed how to stop the tush push. Like, no. he
just stopped the Vikings. Yeah.
Yeah.
He can stop 31 other teams from doing the tush push. No doubt about it in my mind whatsoever. It's just that 32nd team in the Philadelphia Eagles. That's a bit of an issue.
Yep.
Either of you catch the Ravens-Lions game?
Yeah, well, yeah. And
I only caught it via phone, and I did not expect it to go that direction at all.
At all.
I didn't bother watching it. 38? It was 38.
30, was it 35? 38 like nothing. No,
nothing, right? They didn't score at all.
No, I swear they put points on the board. Maybe they didn't. Hold on.
Did they put points? 38-6. 38-6 was the final.
Okay.
Yeah, 38-6. Yeah. So yeah, and that had to have been garbage time because when I had seen it, I'm pretty sure it was like 38-0, right? Like
I was at 35-0 when I.
Yeah. Yeah, it had to be garbage time.
So
it was at 3 minutes 31 seconds left on the clock. The Lions got a touchdown.
Which like I don't think this. I mean, for one, I'm not going to say this doesn't change what I think about the Lions. I still think they're a solid team, but it definitely
because
changes.
You're dating a Lions fan? Is that because you're dating a Lions fan?
He's converted.
No. I got a couple hits from Lions fans. Okay. Yeah. It's a Bucks fan.
Just checking.
Yeah. No. But I mean, it just does make me look at the Ravens a little bit different.
For me, this is a freak game. I think.
Oh.
And maybe it's just because I don't know why I'm so down on the Ravens, but I just am. I don't see them having the ability to pull off a Super Bowl run with the talent they have right now. I mean,
yeah.
When the guy with the most receiving yards on the team is also the guy with the most rushing yards on the team, it's just, it's not Super Bowl worthy for me. Yeah.
Here's the thing. Yeah, we know Lamar Jackson's good. We know that he's one of the only 3 guys currently in the league that has an MVP to his name.
Mm-hmm.
Him, Aaron Rodgers, and Mahomes, right? But we got to see. It's just like he always looks pretty good when he's healthy, right? He always looks good in the regular season. I also thought it was impressive. He's 16-1 against NFC teams. Now he missed 11 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's an interesting stat. That might be a LeBron stat, but still, it was. I mean, 16-1 is you won 16 games. Like
right.
Out of 17 tries, you won 16. So it's still pretty impressive. But yeah, I mean, great regular season. Lamar looks good, awesome. We've seen it before. So how's he gonna look down the stretch?
Yeah, it's and like. If the Ravens were putting up like this many points throughout the whole season, and then they go in and they dominate the Lions like this, then awesome, good for you. But for me, it's just the their point average is probably looking at it, it's averaging around like that 22 mark, which is 3 touchdowns, in a game, and that's what you expect from an NFL team, is to be able to put out 3 touchdowns there. The teams they've beaten this year have been the Texans, the Bengals, the Titans, the Lions, which are all teams I think we could. Well, not the Lions, sorry. The Titans, the Bengals, and the Texans are 3 of their 5 wins, which I think those are easy to win games for the most part. You would expect to be able to go into the stadium or onto the field on Sunday and beat those teams, considering the kind of seasons they're having. 2 of the other games are the Lions, of course, this freak one, and then the Browns, which is a legitimate good win. So I think, when 2 of your 5 wins are the only legitimate good ones, that's where I kind of get a little more step back, like, all right, let's see how this continues to go, because
it's like the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Like they who have you beaten?
Right.
Yeah, so yeah, no, I'm with you on that, and I'm with you. I just think that they look better than. I mean, they definitely look like the best team in the NFC North.
Which is, that's not what I expected going into this year.
No.
In fact, I'm looking at the standings of the NFC North. It's pretty much opposite of what I was expecting. It's Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, then Cincy. I think I was really expecting like a Cincy, Cleveland, Baltimore, Pittsburgh kind of stat line, but
the Pittsburgh is in the conversation is crazy.
I don't know how that's happening.
I don't know. They just find ways to win. It must be very interesting to be a Steelers fan, because you're always in the conversation, even when you're not supposed to be.
Even when you're not.
It helps
even when you're not supposed to.
Yeah, it helps when you only have had 3 head coaches in your entire franchise history, or whatever the ridiculous stat is. And I don't know.
It's crazy. But yeah, let's get to this. Belichick gets 300. I didn't realize that was his 300 win.
Mm-hmm.
But another game that, again, like I said,
where did this come from? Yeah,
I didn't either. I did not. I'm like,
Patriots,
what? Mac Jones is playing what?
Mac Jones is winning.
Against the Bills?
Yeah.
What?
They've been getting smacked all year. They got like destroyed by what, the Cowboys, and then who else dominated them? Like, was it the Jets? Who else? Somebody else just put like.
So the Jags beat them. The Jets have beat them. Patriots now.
Oh yeah, they got stopped by the Saints.
Saints, that's it. Yeah, there it is.
They got stopped by the Saints, man. They got beat by the Raiders.
Oh, I was looking at the Bills. Yeah, not the.
Sorry, I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, you're Cowboys, right.
Yeah, the Cowboys smacked them. The Saints smacked them. The and then they come in and beat the Bills 29-25. And now people are like, yeah, Matt's actually a good quarterback. It's just the system. It's like, what the? Whoa.
No. That's not it.
Hold on, man.
The system's so good despite Mac Jones. That's what I'm saying.
Right?
I mean, I can't wait to see, because I think we can all pretty well agree the Patriots will probably end up with a top 5 draft pick with the way their season has been going. I'm really curious to see who they end up picking, because they'll probably pick up a quarterback. Let's assume, I don't know what the talent pool is out there like, but
Caleb Williams.
It's Caleb Williams. That's a whole story in and of itself, isn't it?
Oh god.
But I'd be really curious to see. I don't see Belichick wanting someone like a Caleb Williams, though. So
for his style. I mean, he did have Cam before, but.
Yeah, but I mean, did Cam even last the whole season? I don't think he did he?
No, I don't think so.
Nobody did.
Yeah.
Beating the Bill. I mean, the AFC East is just, it's a head scratcher. I don't know what's going on over there in that division.
Well, the Bills really are, they're kind of like, okay, so I guess it's the opposite feeling of the Ravens for me, because I think I still believe in the Bills.
Yeah.
But like,
that didn't sound very believable.
Right.
That sounded like
you barely beat
whole lot
the
of
Giants the
questioning
week
happening
before.
there.
Yeah, I mean they barely beat the Giants the week before. They lost to the Jags. I mean, granted, the Jags we still think they're probably still a good team still, but yeah, this is what the hell, man? Like I
Uh,
was just like, you know, yeah, you beat the Giants 14-9 the week before. Lose the Jags before that, and that's after you dominate the Dolphins, you
right.
dominate, you dominate the Commanders, you dominate the Raiders, and lost to the Jets. But that's the Jets. We still believe in the Jets defense,
Hmm.
but yeah, this is definitely a bad beat for them, and very interesting to see. Like, do we still think that? I mean, right now, if the playoffs were to start today, they would be the 7th seed, which is crazy to me. The Steelers would be the
Mm.
5 seed. So we got the Steelers over the Bills.
That's
You
nutty.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's just crazy to think about.
The Bills' next three games are the Buccaneers, the Bengals, and the Broncos. I think if
Oh, I didn't know. Go ahead, sorry.
I think they need to win those three games in order to be still considered legitimate contenders. I think if you lose to even one of
Uh-huh.
those, short of and maybe if the Bengals come out looking like actual Bengals, but I don't think that's going to happen this season. If they don't go 3-0 in that road, I think that's proof that they're done. But these are three very
Yeah.
winnable games, and I think they can do it.
Yeah, but these defenses have been finding a way to shut the Bills down. So the Bengals defense is not the one that's struggling.
Hmm.
I mean they're not doing great, but it's really more their offensive side of the ball they can't figure it out. So that's I'm keyed in on that game now. I didn't realize they played each other this year, and that's the Sunday night game, November 5th. So that's next
That'll be
weekend?
fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
after Halloween. Not this next weekend, but the following one.
Right.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's weird. It's definitely weird. I thought they were gonna be doing. I definitely thought they were gonna win that game. I'll
Yeah.
say that. I think we all did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, before we dive
All right.
into ref controversy and try to sprint out the rest of this podcast, were there any other games that you all watched that you were big fans of? Hung anything from you or?
Oh man, I don't think anything really stood out to me. I mean, I think I was a little bit more shocked as I was trying to follow along with some of those early games, with who was winning, who was losing. But I
Mm-hmm.
think we kind of touched on the ones that kind of stood out to me.
Yeah.
Raw for you? Any other
Yeah. I
You
ones?
got
have
nothing.
something though, Billy. I feel like you've got
No,
one
no.
saved tucked away.
I'm
Oh, okay.
just over here like yeah. There were like about 4 important games this week, and the rest of them were just whatever. All right, that's it for me. I mean, yeah, Raw. Anything for you?
No, we talked the games I wanted to really discuss. Like I was wait, what did we did we talk to Thursday in that game? Who was the Thursday in that game? I don't even
Yeah,
remember.
see, exactly. So we don't need to talk about it. I think that
Yeah.
was
Yeah, it was
Jacksonville
one
and
of
New
those games.
Orleans, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I
It
didn't watch that.
was, and you know what? That
I
was
heard it was
a
good. I heard it was
It
good.
was a
I didn't
good
watch it.
game. I
Yeah.
at first it was like, "Oh, this is a snoozer," but man, the Jags allowed the Saints to come back, and they could have won in the last few seconds, but their poor tight end Moreau, like, dropped that pass in the end zone, and he was feeling it. Oof, poor guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
no,
No.
they let him come all the way back within a score, so it
Yeah.
was a little bit more competitive at the end, but the beginning was a snoozer.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we'd be wasting time talking about some of these other ones. Even though
Yeah.
shout out to the
Yeah.
Bears backup quarterback, just real quick.
Yeah.
What was that? That was
But
Brian
Yeah.
Hoyer against what's his name?
Yes!
Baggin or something like
Yes!
that. It's just like, yeah.
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 The Bears are
Yeah,
over
shout
here.
out to them. Holy cow.
Bears are actively trying to lose, and they still can't
Dude,
against a team like the
yes,
Raiders.
they are literally tanking. Like it is clear as day.
I mean, I do have to
Um,
give props to Mr. Foreman, the running back for the Chicago Bears, putting 30 points while on my bench. I love seeing that. So
yeah,
thank goodness I was winning that game comfortably, anyways.
yeah. But no, let's get into what was the ref controversy? The Eagles thing?
Oh, it's just every single freaking game. I feel like somebody was
Every
saying something. Yeah. Um,
Yeah. Did y'all see that picture of the NFL, the
Yes,
little
painted
war
red and
room?
white.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
no,
no, no,
that
not
one.
that. There was like a there was like a a picture of the command center for the officiating
Mm-hmm.
that's been going viral on like Sports Center and Bleacher Report and stuff, and people were just sitting there clowning it like no wonder reffing is so bad, talking about like my man cave looks better than this. Like it's just a bunch of little TVs around. It looks like somebody's man cave. Like literally how
Oh
y'all
my
see my
word.
setup with the two screens.
Yeah,
Like that's how it
Yeah.
that's it.
looks. That's how it looks. Yeah, just some chairs. Like no wonder they can't get a call right.
It's it feels extra bad this year. Like it's maybe not quite to replacement ref level terrible officiating, but I I can't remember in any other years where I've seen so many like ex players and commentators actively on Twitter talking about just horrifically missed
How
calls.
bad it is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And again, I can't remember who it was. It's probably Mitch Schwartz because he seems to be the only person that pops up on my timeline during games. But it made a really good point about the fact that it's like refs are also just not held accountable either. And this is something
No.
that's across every single sport out there for sure. But
Right.
this is one of those games where it's like because of how many rules there are and how rigid it is and everything like that. It's like you really got to be able to hold these refs accountable. And I mean, I just don't at all. And you don't hear why a call was made, anything like that. And it's it concerns me that there's more talk about banning the tush push from like live broadcast and other things like that than there is talking about just like how genuinely horrific officiating has been and like what are the fixes there,
Right.
and figuring that out. So for me, it's always about transparency. Make the ref. Like, we have these post game interviews, right, with players, coaches, and all that kind of stuff. I want post game interviews with the officiating crew where they just get grilled. And
Yeah.
you know
We've
what?
talked about
Yeah.
this
Yeah, we have
before
talked
because
about this.
soccer allows it,
And
right?
Australia, I think they do it, yeah, for soccer, because
Yeah.
no other soccer league really does it either. But yeah, I mean, make them go out there, and it's like I would feel so much better about poor officiating if a guy goes, yeah, I screwed that up. I admit it. I know what happened. I see it now, and I'll know how to watch out for it next time. That'll make me feel way better than this whole them
But
just
if they were
hiding.
held to that level where
Mhm.
they had to answer in a presser after a game like that, there would be less and less of the, "Oh, yeah, I screwed up. I effed this one up." There'd be a lot less of that
Yeah,
because they know that they're being scrutinized and held to a higher level than what they are currently.
yeah, and they'll really have to
Yeah.
like
It's kinda
buckle
like,
down.
yeah, there's no consequences. You continue to you keep your job and keep doing a poor job at it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I got. Yeah, I mean, I could complain about the refs all day, to be honest. Like, I just, it's just one of those things where people,
So could the
I
rest
think,
of the fandom.
well, I just think that, like, for so long, it was like a stigma. It was like a sign of poor sportsmanship to blame the refs. And I think that
Right.
there's a part of me that thinks that officiating has kind of hid behind this, and
Right.
as a result has gotten worse. Like obviously I can't prove that. I just feel like that's what happened. I mean, to the point where it's just making the game less enjoyable
Well, and I
Yeah.
think
for
for
everyone.
so long you could always, because I've always heard people complain about refs and all that kind of stuff, but I think the answer to that is that was always acceptable is like, well, both teams were refed by the same crew, both teams had missed
Right.
calls, both teams whatever. Who was it? I think it was Jason said on the New Heights podcast. It's like what separates the good teams from the great teams is that great teams capitalize on mistakes made on the field, be they a missed call
Mhm.
from a ref, a turnover, whatever the case may be, whereas the good teams don't,
Right.
to the bad teams. But it feels like it's getting to the point where it doesn't even matter if you can capitalize because there's just that extra force that's really holding you back for reasons they shouldn't be holding you back at all. And
Right.
so that's why I think this feels so much different is because you're right. In the past, it's you couldn't criticize the refs because at the end of the day, both teams played on the same field, both teams played with the same refs, both teams had whatever, and just you have to be a good enough team in order to overcome that stuff. And now we're starting to get back to that point with where it was with the replacement refs, where it doesn't matter how good you are because you're just legally not allowed to be good anymore.
Right.
If yeah,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. All right. Do we want to? Like, I know we're at like pretty much
90 minutes.
an
Yeah.
hour and a half.
Yeah.
We want to jump in the. I mean, next week is Broncos. Do we really want to
So we
dive
just
deep
talked
into
about
that?
this game. Yeah, I mean, we just talked about it. That's what is there?
Let's ride. There we
Broncos
go. That's
country.
it.
Yeah,
That's the talk.
there it is.
Potential trap game, but Mahomes doesn't like losing. Mahomes doesn't lose on the road.
Mahomes doesn't like
against
losing.
the AFC.
Controversial take.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so I'm not super worried, and I'm actually going to say that we are going to. I'm gonna say the offense figured it out. I'm gonna give my score. Y'all ready to give scores?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm giving my score. Offense is clicking. We got McCole back. He, for some reason, was the emotional piece that we needed to
The emotional
figure out how to
support,
catch the balls again.
Nicole. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to put a 40 burger on the Broncos. So 42-17 Chiefs.
42-17.
Like it.
I kind of like what you were saying. You said Mahomes doesn't like to lose. Not just that, Mahomes doesn't like to lose on the road. He doesn't lose on the road.
Right.
That's what you were saying. So and because of that, we're at Empower Field at Mile High Stadium. I'm right there. I'll go just short of 40 and go to 39, but let's say 39-9 here.
You picked my score.
Yes, that's why I had to interrupt you and take yours.
Nice.
So we'll all remember now.
Do I have to
Next
pick a different
week,
one? Can I keep the same one?
you can put the same one. We'll allow it.
It's the same one because Billy took it right out of took the numbers right out of my mouth.
I'm cool with that. We
Jump
can go
in
the
there.
same one.
But also, I mean, I feel like we were just right here, right? So, I mean, this will be win 17 in a row over the Broncos, correct? So we always
My
play them
Lord.
so closely back to back, it feels like. But yeah, so we'll be right here again. This time at your house, our house, your house. I mean, it ends the same way.
I hope we make it to the 10-year mark of them not beating us. That's just my main focus.
How
After that,
defeating! Oh my God!
right?
Like just the morale for
I
this.
love it.
You can't even call it a rivalry.
No. It's a
It's not
beating.
competitive.
Keep
Absolute
it going.
beating. Yeah. All right, cool. Socials then, huh? Start off for you, Hung. You can get us kicked off here.
Ooh, I get to go first because
Yeah,
you
you get to
can't
go
steal my
first.
socials that way. There we go.
I'm gonna
All right,
rip your little
so-
saying though. What is it? Come for the inspiration,
Yes.
mom life, and
Come for the fandom. Oh
There we
yeah,
go.
yeah. Definitely come along. Follow Billy for the mom life. He's got it all
Please.
down.
Yes.
No, y'all, but pretty much any platform that is out there, come find me by my first and last name, Hong Forrest. Most active probably on the, I'd say, formerly known as Twitter, X, Instagram, and TikTok. But come along for the football fanatics, stay for the journey, the inspiration, the mom life, and the hot mess on some days,
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. All right, Billy.
My turn. All right, yeah. Discord and X, those are the two best places to find me. I have my own Discord server. You can find that via my Twitch stream, which is also under the same name. I should change this and just throw on my Twitch too. Might as well, right? It's at Chef Doobles, CHEFDOOBLES. Like Hung said, definitely if you need any mothering tips, please be sure to ask my opinion. I can not guarantee they won't land you in jail, but that's between you and your lawyer. Otherwise, live tweets every game. Great thoughts.
There we go.
How about you, Raw?
Hit me up on Instagram at the Almighty Raw. Hit me up on TikTok at the Almighty Raw, Threads, all that good stuff. Please follow our page on YouTube, State of the Kingdom. Like and subscribe. Follow us on X as well, SOT Kingdom KC. So yeah.
And inevitably, eventually, we'll get the Instagram going, right? That's your game plan.
I mean, it's there. It's there.
It
It's
exists.
there.
But feel free to follow
I
it
tag
yeah.
it.
You can follow it if you want.
Oh man.
You just won't get the same live tweeting action that you get on X.
On X, there it is. All right. Well, until next week, everyone. Go Chiefs.
Till next
Absolutely.
week,
Okay.
and on Sunday, go Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Yeah.